I like how it warns you. So, Deb, did you kick off? Would you like me to kick off?
No, I'll go. Well, I'll just kind of welcome everybody to May. It's May 12th. I can't believe it's already May 12th. I don't know where my time is going, but it is May 12th. Welcome to the meeting of the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians. Let's just take a moment and hey, anybody have any happy bucks that they would like to throw out for today?
Well,
Me, me, me. George or Keith, go ahead.
Okay.
go ahead, Amanda.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm down in Orlando at Disney celebrating that my daughter graduated college on Saturday. So we're
Awesome.
officially two through college and we are done, done, done. I think it's my turn to go to school now. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Well, I've just got a happy buck because of the trip back to Chatham, Ontario for the district conference and good safe return. Little bit cooler than I would have appreciated, but it was a nice trip and a good conference.
That's good. It's cool back home
Yeah, it
too,
was.
isn't it? I think it's chilly in Virginia still, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah. It's
although it's warming
Well,
up.
and I can report from the desert Southwest that it was 107 and it was very, very hot. And there's a somewhat humorous story about of course we took possession of a new house there, and promptly the air conditioner decided that it didn't want to work. And so if you've ever had a moment where you put your hands down on the countertop and the countertop is hot, I have never experienced that before, but I found out my thermostat only goes to 99 degrees. Yeah, it was a good time. And that was Sunday. It was Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. And so it was a crazy, it was a very crazy full day, couple days. So I
Hopefully
am
you guys
celebrating that
got it straightened out.
partially. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes. No, that was actually fixed before the end of Mother's Day, and we were very happy about that. But I've never stood in my kitchen before and literally put my hands on the countertop and the countertop been hot. That was a very strange sensation. And the funnier part is this house has two air conditioners in it. The other air conditioner was just fine. So the one bedroom apartment, casita, however you'd like to call it, was actually very comfortable. So we were actually spending a lot of time in there and not in the main part of the house. And that led to some other humorous discussions. But yeah, good times, lots of good times. And
Glad
even
you got it
today,
fixed.
hmm,
I'm glad you got it fixed. That's
I'm very glad I got it fixed, because I would have a very unhappy husband, because of course I returned to Houston. Bye, see ya. And yeah, he was definitely happy that he had air conditioning. And I have to remind him of certain things, like, okay, you have to watch the front door because I've already begun the Amazon deliveries. For those of you who are not friends with me on Facebook, there was a humorous moment where I ordered a broom on Amazon. And when you order, apparently, I was like, well, this will be interesting to see how a broom arrives when you order it on Amazon. And I can tell you, mine arrived in like four pieces. It was actually, you put it together, and it was kind of funny because I sat there for a moment and was like, what is this? And yeah, good
I,
I
I
times,
love
things I've
have
learned.
a
I love your comment on the picture about it being from IKEA.
Oh yeah, it was a bro. Yes, yes. I was like, it's a kit. Apparently, everything I order now has to be built one way or another. So,
after we had the last big snowstorm in Virginia this year, I find my snow shovel broke at the first snowstorm, and then they
Ooh.
can't figure out to order more snow shovels in Virginia, so they just never did. So I couldn't get another one. So I finally ordered one online, and by the time it got to my house, we didn't have any more snow. So I have one that's like in 17 pieces shrink wrapped sitting by my front door for next year. So I get it.
hey, you are talking to the person who did move to Texas with snow shovels,
Yeah.
and I had those ergonomic ones.
A really
And
nice one.
literally, yeah, I walked out into my garage, and my movers here in Texas were standing there staring at it because they had no idea what it was for. I'm like, it's a snow shovel. And they were
Not
like,
not for
what,
Texas,
what?
it's not.
Yeah, nope, nope. And it was a very entertaining discussion from that point forward. So excellent. Anything else? Anybody have to share? Oh, Keith, you had a great time at conference.
Yes, very much so, and very educational. It was very nice.
They do put on a great, I have to say, they do put on a really, really great conference.
They did.
So I'm glad you went. I'm glad to hear. Well, we'll have to cover that at a different juncture, but I'm going to ask Amanda at this time to go ahead and introduce our speaker, and we'll work from there.
Hi, Lindsay. Thanks very much, Deb. So Lindsay Lawrence is from Wine to Water. If you guys recall, we had Wine to Water come talk to us a couple months ago. We tried so hard to get something going real fast before the end of the month, and we just couldn't do it with all the things that were going on. So we invited Lindsay back tonight, A, to introduce ourselves and say thank you. And then B, maybe to just kind of brainstorm some thoughts that we had about putting together a water project, a filter build project like we had talked about previously. One of the things, Lindsay, my husband is in the wine industry, and one of the things we were talking about doing is maybe doing a virtual wine tasting to be a fundraiser for the projects. Because I think what we found when we first kicked it off is that asking the individuals in the organization to front all of the money for the filters was a little bit prohibitive. So that's one of the things we were talking about. We wanted to honestly just make this kind of a free flow of ideas, hear from you anything that you've heard that's been a best practice, things that have worked, especially when you're talking about a virtual build, because so many of us we're all over the place. So I mean, mine doesn't say it, but I live in Northern Virginia. Keith is in Virginia Beach, 4 hours from me. Rory's in Michigan, and Rob's up in, I think Rob's actually closer to me in Maryland than Keith is. Deb's out in Houston slash Tucson, and then George is way out in the Sacramento area in California. We're all over the place. So the plan for us is to try to get filters sent out to the members who want to participate, wherever they may be, and hopefully be able to get a few of them together physically. But it would really need to be mostly a virtual build. Like I'm thinking maybe host a wine tasting to fund it and then do a build on top of that. But we just want to kind of throw that by you, ask you to introduce yourself. I know you're kind of new. I think you're new to the organization, right?
I've
Um,
been with Wine to Water for a little over a year now, so new-ish. But yeah, have my feet well rooted there.
Yeah, so again, just kind of pick your brain about best practices, what you've seen work, what are some ideas that we can take back and kind of discuss and try to get this thing kicked off. We'd like to do it. We had initially intended to try to get it done before June, but obviously I don't think that's going to happen. But in fairly short order.
Yeah, no worries there. I will say that we have a promotion that I can kind of extend to you all since we've been in conversation for a while now. But we did a World Water Day through Earth Day promotion where the sponsorship cost of those filters is normally $65. We dropped it down to $50 per filter. So I'm happy to extend that to you all, even though we're past Earth Day. As a means to kind of make it a little bit more accessible to you and your members. As far as virtual build goes, we do this all the time with people from all over, especially in like large companies and things that we work with. So shipping it to each individual member, no problem at all. And then, of course, we can hop on a lovely call, have a presentation, and kind of build together, which would be great. The wine tasting sounds like a wonderful fundraising opportunity. If you all would like, what we can do from our side is provide you with a GoFundMe Pro page. So Wine to Water has a GoFundMe Pro account, and we can kind of custom create a GoFundMe page for you guys. That would be kind of like a crowdfunding situation. So you could share it with your peers, your circle of people, local businesses, things of that nature, to try to raise money that way. If that's something you all are interested in, we do that a lot for smaller groups and Rotary clubs, school clubs, those sorts of things.
Hey, Rory's our treasurer, Lindsay. Rory, is there any reason we would need to bring it in through the club versus going through a GoFundMe directly to Wine to Water? You're on mute. But I think I knew what you mean.
No, I mean just if you know if you want to keep track of it as far as I'm not sure how GoFundMe works, but yeah, I don't think there's a reason why we can't do it that way.
Yeah, I think the only difference would be that it would go straight to Wine to Water instead of to us and then us cutting a check over to Wine to Water. So it might actually
Yeah,
just be, more efficient and us
that'd
not
be
having
easier.
yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure there's no reason with our 501(c)(3) that we had to do it that way. But
Yeah,
I like
Well,
which
I
that.
get. I'm going to say, I guess the only thing I would say is just so that we know how much we raise, just some kind of, something telling us what we raised on behalf of that. So,
absolutely we can. I have a Eagle Scout service project participant right now, and he has kind of like a progress bar on his page, so it shows you how much of the total that he's hoping to raise has been raised. So we could do
oh,
something
okay,
like
yeah. So
that.
I mean, yeah, something
Yeah,
like that's fine. Yeah.
yeah. And if you guys discuss and decide that you don't really want to do the GoFundMe pro page, no problem at all. We can skip that. It does kind of make it a little easier that you guys don't have to like keep up with all the donations and then cut a check. But whatever you guys prefer will be fine.
And I would say personally, from knowing how this group operates over time, the GoFundMe is probably the better way to get more people and get more money.
Yeah.
Because we have a tendency to people don't answer emails.
True story. So the more we can just send out a link, text, whatever, that'll be
Mhm.
good. We are,
Yes.
guys, I don't, what is today the 12th? Today's the 12th. The district grant deadline is the 15th. So I think it might be a bit of a stretch to try to get in a district grant for this, but I would love to maybe use this as a proof of concept for next year, right? If we could do, see how we do this year and then the district grant, Lindsay, I'm not sure if you've ever worked with Rotary, but there's a matching that they do. I'm gonna get it wrong. Deb, if we raise 2,000, they give 1,000. Is that right? I think
Yeah, I
that's what.
believe so.
So it's you raise two-thirds, they give a third. And so I
Right.
think maybe for this year we can kind of do it as a proof of concept and maybe next year get the word out. The nice thing with the virtual wine tasting is there's kind of no limits to who you can invite and how big your group can be. I just might have to host it on a different platform. So okay, so the $50 per you guys will extend to us.
Mhm.
I think we had assumed like a $10 shipping because we were shipping them all over the place. I think it's probably a little high, but we can also do that.
Yeah, I can, as we kind of pull things together a little bit more, if you want to send me a list of which members would like to participate, and, as we kind of figure out funding, how many filters each person will be building, if that's just one, if it's two, I can get our logistics department to give us a more exact quote on shipping, so that we can kind of move that way.
And I had said before that I would be willing if there's people that want to donate but didn't want to be bothered building,
Hmm.
that I'm retired. I can do lots of kids.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing that we need to offer, right? Because I have a feeling we'll get people who want to donate directly, people who want to participate in the wine drinking, but maybe not do the build. And I think that's where our team is going to come in, our club is going to come in. And even Rory, Christina Schofer's Time and Talents Club could help out if we wanted to get them involved too. I mean, that's an ideal scenario, right? That we have too many filters to be able to build ourselves. But
How
Is there
long
a
does it take?
method? Is there a method to create a flyer that we could hand out?
yeah, a physical flyer, absolutely. I think what we can do, I can put that on the list of things is I can create a flyer. Ask Maggie. I have a kid who just graduated with a degree in digital media marketing. So I can ask Maggie to maybe pull together a flyer that we can send out.
Mhm.
And Rob, what we'll do on that flyer is make sure it has a QR code that takes it directly to the GoFundMe. And then
Mhm.
we can make sure there's an easy button. But then we can have both the physical flyer that we could maybe take to our local, if we wanted to take them to our local dealerships and stuff and hang them up. That's why I want to make sure we have a little bit of a lead time on this and we're not trying to do it too quickly.
Right. Absolutely.
George?
So how long does it take to assemble the filter? Or is Lindsay going to address that in the talk?
Yeah, I'm happy to address that. So, I have one of our filters here. It's on a bottle. Obviously, you can see the dirty water. I'll give you guys a demonstration. I obviously would not drink that water, but I will happily drink that water.
Nice.
But the filter itself takes about 5 to 10 minutes max to build. Depends on how fast your group builds. Typically, with a virtual filter build, we like to do kind of a presentation about who Wine to Water is, the work that we do, and then we go through the build together. So typically, with the presentation and the build, you're looking at like anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. So we can make that longer, we can make it shorter. We're very flexible as far as that goes and catering to the needs of the club.
Yeah, we'll probably plan, George, for the build part, the virtual build part. We'll probably plan an hour for that. And then depending, how long people or how many people are together, and see how quickly we
Okay.
get through it.
I was thinking that I could also get my other Rotary Club, put it together in one meeting, because that's what we are thinking for next year.
Yeah,
Once
and
a
even
month.
even George, if they can't do it, at the exact same time that we're doing this, our meeting, we'll have it recorded, right? So we could definitely share with you the recording if you needed to do
Yeah.
it at a different time or something for sure. And I think that's one of the things we should push, George, Keith, um, Rob, I'm sorry, I should know, but I can't remember if you're an associate member.
Yeah, I was going to hand it out to my club.
Yeah. And so all of our, Lindsay, I'm not sure if you know this, our club is made up almost 50-50 of associate members who are members of true brick and mortar clubs and full members who are members only of this virtual club. So half of our members are also members of another Rotary Club, which is actually really cool because it actually increases our reach, right? So that's one of the things we can do. So I'm thinking timeline wise. What are we thinking, friends? I don't know who else. I suddenly find myself with all kinds of time because I don't have any children and college is 2 states away, 4 states away. Um, so it is mid-May now. If we were to take a month to kind of gather ourselves, get information out, try to do this mid-July. You think that would give us enough time to kind of get everything organized? And Deb, do you think this is something that we could gonna try to pull it together with our visit from the district governor, but that might be a little too much. But I think we can try to
Is
pull
that,
something
are we
together.
slated? Do we have one on the calendar?
We don't yet. I have a couple dates that you guys gave me. I need to take back to him. It was mid-July.
Okay.
Lindsay, we meet on
Um,
Tuesdays, but it doesn't have to be a Tuesday. It's just the day we meet. So we'd probably have a preference for a Tuesday just to make sure that everybody's kind of already got it on their calendar.
right, right. It's beginning of May. That gives us I'm gonna say 2.5 months to kind of, start getting this out there and that. So I would like to shoot for that. That would be good.
Just
I
shoot for
think that
like
would be
maybe
it.
the 21st of May or fun times, no, 21st of July. July. There we go.
July. Yeah, let's go with
July
July. Yes. Why don't we
21st.
do, why don't we try and put a pin in that and go with it?
And because you guys showed up today, does anybody have any blockers on the 21st of July? I'm
That I know.
seeing shaking heads. Okay. Anybody know what Jerry's schedule looks like? Everybody's laughing, Lindsay, because we never know not only what country he's in, what continent he's going to be on. I believe today he's in Guatemala, yeah?
Yes.
He just got back from India. So we will
I tell you, where's
tentatively,
Waldo?
I know. Sorry, guys, I got a cough drop in my mouth because Florida is killing me. So Lindsay, if we can tentatively schedule the 21st of July, we'll plan on that for the build.
Okay.
Wait, let me back up. Let me back into this date. Is that when we want to plan for the wine tasting, guys? With the build later?
Actually, I think that's a better idea. That gives us time to put this together to do the fundraising so that we can
Yeah.
have, A, good attendance, and B, um, have the money to say, okay, we're, doing this. I mean, I do like the GoFundMe idea. That way, I hate to say it, then Rory doesn't have to work all sorts of magic to make sure, okay, yeah, we got that money aside. Now we got to send it to them. This way it can go directly to the source, and we can be sharing it on Facebook and other entities
Yeah.
as a regular deal. So
Lindsey, if we did the wine tasting on the 21st of July, we'll assume everybody will have made donations to the GoFundMe. By that point, we'll give them an extra week, say by the 28th of July. Does that 3 weeks give you guys enough time from a logistics standpoint? 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. If we do the 25th of August, give you guys enough time from a logistics standpoint to get everything sent out?
Yeah, absolutely. So typically we just ask for like 2 weeks heads up, just to make sure that if there's any delays in the snail mail, that we could get it to you before the build. But the 25th of August sounds great.
All right, I keep repeating these dates because I have the AI taking notes for me and it'll say them all for me. So we'll plan right now for the 21st of July for the wine tasting itself, which means I will have a goal of having all of the marketing materials out to everybody by the 16th of June so that we have a full month to get marketing and get everything posted. Marketing materials will include a flyer, physical flyer that you guys can print out, which will have a QR code. So if Lindsay, by the 16th, if we could have the 16th of June, if we could have the GoFundMe page, have a link to the GoFundMe page so I can create the flyer with the QR code, that would be great. Then we'll have from June 16th to July 21st to gain interest. I'll work with this guy who lives in my house who likes to do wine tastings to get a menu out. Be kind of fun. Let's do like, I don't know, he's probably not going to dig this, but like we could do American wines or wines that were drunk by the founding fathers. That'd be kind of fun. It's one of my favorite wines that was drunk by the founding fathers. Celebrate the 250th. And so July 21st for that. And then we'll shoot for August 25th as the filter build project date.
Perfect. Yeah. And then all I'll need for the GoFundMe page is just a little bit of text about your club, about the project, and maybe a couple pictures if you all have any to add just to kind of give it a little bit of pizzazz. And then I did want to mention George and other members who may want to do a build with their brick and mortar Rotary Club as well. We can always schedule another date and hop on virtually if that works better for you. If your club wants to do one as well, then we can absolutely facilitate it that way.
Question: is wine to water just the name, or is it what's the connection to wine?
Yeah, so our founder, Doc Henley, he kind of grew up in a Christian household, and he was laying in bed one night and could not sleep, and the words wine to water just kept going over and over in his head. And he was like, that's backwards from what the Bible says, water into wine, and the story of the miracle of Jesus turning water into wine. So he was like, well, I can't sleep anyway. I might as well get up and get on the computer and start Googling. So he said, I started with water, and he was at that point exposed to what the global water crisis is. And he was like, this is terrible. We've got to figure out how to do something to help these people. So that's kind of how Wine to Water started. He was a bartender, so the wine side also kind of plays on that as well. And yeah, he started doing events at his local bars to fundraise for him to go travel abroad to try to help kind of fight against the global water crisis. And out of that, Wine to Water was born, and it's continued to grow. And we're celebrating our 22nd year as a nonprofit organization this year, which is super exciting. So that's where the name came from.
So is it hold a wine tasting or wine sales to raise the funds to build the filters? Is that the connection?
Oh, that was me inserting
play on words.
Our desire to have another wine tasting.
Okay, that I got.
Right. So he was a bartender. So he also played music. So he would do events at the bars and save up his tips and whatever money that he raised from those events and use that towards his humanitarian aid work. So that's kind of where the name came from and the tie to actual wine.
Now, George, when we were kind of ideating on how we could do a fundraiser to do this, that we came back to we had a pretty successful virtual wine tasting last year around Christmas. And I was like, you know what? And we had said when we did it as a club, just a happy hour thing, but it was like, we could probably do this as a fundraiser. So,
Mhm.
yep. So
Liz,
as we came back and to that.
Lindsay, I know you at the last presentation you mentioned, but would you refresh my memory on once we build the kits, how we return them?
Yeah, absolutely. So every single kit will come with a prepaid return label. In either inside the box, or sometimes the shipping label kind of comes in a plastic slip, so it'll either be in there or inside of your box. So once you finish your kits, you put them back in the box they came from, tape them up, put that return label on, and you can drop them off at any UPS drop off location. So it's super simple, right back in the same box, slap the return label on and drop it off, or you could schedule a pickup through UPS if that's easier for you. Yeah, so super simple there.
Or we could
Thank you.
all get on our motorcycles and go at roughly the same time and live stream it while we drop it off.
Right, right.
Try not to make it too involved this year, but there's kind of things we might think about next year. So we're like as we're going through this, like how could we beef it up for the next time, as this is a proof of concept. So
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And then every filter comes back to our warehouse here in Boone, North Carolina, where I'm located out of. And we go through every single filter and we do a quality assurance process. So they're pressure tested to make sure that they're holding pressure so they'll flow correctly. And if they don't hold pressure, then we take them apart, figure out what's wonky inside of them, put them back together, test them again, and then they're sealed so that once they go out in the field, nobody can take them apart and lose pieces and make them not function correctly. So once they finish quality assurance, they are packaged back up and put in our staging area. So anytime there's a natural disaster, a man-made disaster, or even just in our global programs, these are utilized in all three sectors of those. So they're staged and ready to go when they're requested or when they're needed. So, and as we approach hurricane and typhoon season, it's a really great time to kind of have a backlog of those so that we can just pick up and ship them if needed.
for sure. And then Keith, looking forward, Maggie Valley is only about 2 hours from Boone. So if we wanted to go ride some twisties and then show up at the Wine to Water headquarters to do a physical build together, that'd be kind of fun too.
That would be excellent.
I'm
Now,
just
now we could keep one of these filters for a motorcycle camping trip, right?
We actually sell, so all of the filters that are built within our filter build program are sent out to beneficiaries free of charge. So people who lack access to clean water. But we do have filters that our staff build, and they are available for sale through our e-commerce platforms. You can go on our website and find those. I think they're $64.99 a piece, but comes with a bottle, everything you need to clean and maintain it. And those are obviously yours to keep if you purchase one. So, kind of a difference between our drop filters that we do with our filter program and the ones that we do in our e-commerce. Same exact technology, but the ones in the filter build go directly to our global programs. The ones in e-commerce are built by staff and are made to be sold to the general public.
and
And
I'm
then
assuming, sorry, go ahead.
100% of the proceeds from our e-commerce drop sales goes directly back into our
I was
programs.
just going to say that. So that's actually something for us to consider too. If we wanted to do any kind of a US based local homelessness project or something like that, like something to think about where we could, if we were to put together survival kits or even just comfort care kits as I come off of a weekend living on the beach in St. Augustine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Something to think about. That was a good question, George. Thank you.
Lindsay, and one person assemble a filter in about 20 to 30 minutes?
Usually about 5 to 10 for the actual assembly itself. The presentation is usually 10 to 15 minutes long. So that's what kind of takes up that space. Depending on how fast people build, some people build slower than others. So yeah, 5 to 10 minutes to actually put the filter together.
How long does the filter last in use?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. Our drop filters have a lifespan of up to 10 years if maintained properly. So, as you can see, there's a lot of dirt in my bottle. So, I have to take clean water and back flush this to kind of push that dirt out so it can continue to filter efficiently. But a lifespan of 10 years, they can filter up to 400 gallons per day. So if you do the math, that is a ton of water in 10 years. And then we also, in our global programs, typically the household size is about 10 people. So one filter can provide a family of up to 10 people with water for clean water for up to 10 years.
You might see me buying a whole bunch of these. My daughter went to school in St. Augustine and they have a lot of hurricanes down there.
Mm-hmm.
Be kind of a cool thing to get maybe a sorority or a fraternity on campus to be involved in as well, just to make sure that the kids, the students have provisions at home. I have
Right.
lots of ideas. I have lots of ideas on how we can make this work, but let's start with we'll start with this maybe smaller, maybe bigger. It depends on how well we do with the marketing build, where they will go back to Wine to Water to go out to help our friends in other places. And then, like I said, I would love to we'll come together afterwards. What went well? What could we do better? And the next go around will be better and better and better. Who knows? This might be an international grant before we know it, friends.
Absolutely.
Very cool. I will tell you, Lindsay, we've been a club for, is it 8 years? I'm gonna get it wrong. 8 years, and we have struggled to find a project, a service project we can all do together virtually
Right.
or at the same time, but different places, right? So this has been a really cool thing for us to really start talking through how we might be able to do this as a club. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Like I said, we do it all the time where we ship filters here, there, and everywhere, and then join up on the same call and build together and have that kind of team building and just being able to do that service project together is really great. So yeah.
Rory, did you have a question?
No, I was just going to say the closest we came was the friendship trees down at Maggie Valley.
Maggie Valley.
Yep. Which was awesome because we all physically got together. I wish we could do that more often.
Mhm.
But we have this great thing where we have members that are 4,000 miles apart, right? So it makes it a little bit tough to get everybody in the same place all the time.
Yeah.
It's not a bad problem to have. It's a great problem to have, but it does make some logistical issues, some hurdles. That's okay.
Yeah.
So we were
Absolutely.
trying to figure out how to do we have a thing that Rotary does called I'm gonna get it wrong, World's Greatest Meal. I think that's what it's called. World's Greatest Meal, where you're supposed to all get together and go have a meal together, and what you spend on the meal gets donated to Rotary. It's just tough because it's like, okay, so if we do a dinner, it's lunchtime in the mountains and it's breakfast on the West Coast.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
oh, what other
The
questions do we have?
challenge of time zones.
I know. Do we have any other questions for Lindsay? Lindsay, do you have any questions for
No,
us? I didn't really go through like who we are as a club and what we're all about. Um,
Yeah, if you want to give me that background, that would be amazing. I got a little snippet from Courtney before she left the organization, but I'd love to hear from you guys for sure.
So Rotary International in general is an international philanthropic organization. One of the biggest things we've done is the eradication of polio through vaccination programs worldwide. But we have seven areas of interest that we cover. One of them is water and sanitation. It's a very big thing for us as an international organization.
Mhm.
It's one of those things, it kind of feeds into all of the other ones, right? If water is readily available and clean, it frees up a lot of the population, generally the women and children, to be better educated, to spend less time gathering water and finding water and being sick and tending to sick people, right? So it's one of those
Absolutely.
compounding effect, domino effect type things that we do. Our club, like I said, was founded 8 years ago. There's a few of the founders here, myself, Rory, Jerry Jackson. I'm not going to get us all. Keith, I think you were there right at the beginning as well.
Yes.
A bunch of us came from a small club in Michigan. Rory and Jerry were at that club. I was an exchange student through that club. Rory and Jerry were my sponsors when I went outbound to Spain when I was 16, 7 years ago, or
Sure.
30 years ago, or 30 years ago. But Jerry looked around and said, Rotary in general, we're coming to a cool shift where we're looking for other ways to have meetings, to do these things. So typically a Rotary Club is town-based. So everybody lives in the same area. They do a lot of physical local things together. What we have in common is that we all ride motorcycles. So we are not physically co-located. I don't know if any of us are physically co-located anymore because even Jerry and Rory don't live in the same city. What we have in common is motorcycles. So that is the one thing that ties us together. So we were one of the very first Rotary clubs of our kind. We were Zoom before Zoom was cool, way before COVID. And so we've been a virtual club since we were founded 8 years ago. So that's who we are. And like I said, we on top of what we do with these service projects, we've gotten together for a couple of group rides where we try to get together. Where have we gone? We did a West Texas ride in the hill country in Texas. We did one in North Carolina. A bunch of people just went up to Ontario for the district conference. There's one coming up in Pennsylvania. So we try to get people together so they can go ride together. And then also our biggest thing that we do every year is that we raise funds to sponsor a clinic in the mountains of Guatemala. So that's where Jerry is right now. So that's a clinic that does comprehensive care. Our primary fundraising is around the eye care mission there. So that's who we are in a nutshell. We run about 30 members between the associate and full membership. And then we also partner pretty heavily with the International Fellowship of Motorcycling Rotarians, which is not a club in itself. It's a group within Rotary International. So there are quite a few of them as well.
Perfect. Amazing. I appreciate you sharing a little bit more about your club. I've been working with Rotary clubs for several months now, and mostly on like that town by town basis as well. So some of our local ones and kind of moving further east in North Carolina as well. So yeah, it's a wonderful organization and so many parallels between the service work that you all do and the work that Wine to Water does. And we're just so happy to have you guys as partners.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Lindsey, for your time. I'm glad that it was fortuitous when you reached out because we had just been talking about the fact that we didn't have anybody to talk to us this week and we were just going to look at each other and trying to figure out what to say. So.
Well, I'm glad I was able to join. So thank you for inviting me and for having me, and look forward to, we'll talk some more, Amanda, about the GoFundMe page and all of those things via email.
If you wouldn't mind, make sure I'm on there and Deb Teplitz and Jerry. I think the three of us are on that original email that went out. So Deb is the president this year. I'm the president next year, and Jerry was last year's president. Deb and I are kind of co-presidenting this year and next year. So we try to back each other up because we're both moving 100 miles an hour. Make sure somebody's at a meeting.
Sounds great. I will be sure to copy all of you on the email thread, and yeah, we'll move forward with getting your GoFundMe Pro page set up and moving towards that fundraiser.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Lindsey. Any other questions for Lindsey before we wrap up tonight? All right. Any questions for us, Lindsey, before we wrap up tonight?
Thank you so much for coming and speaking to us this evening. We really appreciate it. And this is something that I see some other potential, which Amanda and I have been messaging back and forth in the middle of this, that getting more of our district involved and things like that could be, just really well accepted. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you all for having me. And yeah, look forward to speaking more soon.
Thanks, Lindsey.
Excellent.
All right, Keith, can we pick on you to lead us in the four-way test to end the meeting?
Absolutely. Four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. One, is it the truth? Two, is it fair to all? Three, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And four, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And five, will it be fun?
Fun.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks, Lindsey. I appreciate your time.
Thank you all. Have a good evening, everybody.
Great weekend. Great weekend. What day is it? Tuesday. Have a great week. Bye.
Thank you all. Goodbye.